Hello there! It's a dark, gloomy day and it's raining, but that won't stop us having a good look at this 2017 Skoda Fabia Mk3, which, for some reason, has various strange, mythical creatures living inside it. And this one looks particularly vicious. Welcome to Cast by TV. Okay, let's get started. This 2017 Skoda Fabia Mk3 has the 1-litre petrol engine, a manual transmission and the SE trim level. It's done about 46,000 miles, it has full service history and, unfortunately, a little bit of accident damage here on the near side where somebody drove into it on a roundabout. That definitely wasn't the owner's fault though, it was the other guy, and he just drove away. Naughty. So let's have a quick look at the interior, which is rapidly steaming up with condensation. So let's start with this wide perspective, and we can see straight away this is a very nice little car to be in. Little touches I like in particular, such as this silver brushed aluminium look on the dashboard. That adds a certain something. The seats are nice too, they're two-tone, so they look better than you get in a lot of these lower value cars. As for the instrument cluster, well, that's down there and it's clear and easy to read. The centre of the dashboard is very much dominated by this screen, which you can control via buttons down the left here, such as radio and media. More buttons on the right, menu, car, sound, and so on. And it's also a touch screen. See? Moving further down, we have the heating and ventilation controls here, including air conditioning. Under there, if I can squeeze the camera in, that's where you find your auxiliary port, USB, and your traditional power point. This, of course, is the optimum place to keep your bright purple dragon. Cup holders there. As for the gearbox, this particular car is a 5-speed manual, a fairly conventional layout, so first there, second, and so on. And when you want reverse, you push the gear stick down, like so, then move it all the way to the left and forward. And as you can see, this particular car also has parking sensors. Moving further back, we have a traditional mechanical handbrake. They're becoming increasingly rare in modern cars. No central armrest, which is a bit of a pity, but we do have this thing instead to compensate. I'm not sure what it is, but we have it. Moving over here, we have a decent sized glove box full of various bits and pieces. We have another strange animal up there. This one I think is a butterfly of some kind. No idea what that is, but I do know what this is. Can you see that little clip there? That enables you to secure your parking ticket so it's not going to blow away. So, very nice. Rumours suggest that the current owner of this Skoda is the former owner of that Nissan Micra that you'll be very familiar with if you're one of my subscribers. But that can't be confirmed or denied. Under the bonnet we have this 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine that produces about 95 horsepower, and as you can see here it's a TSI. That stands for turbocharged stratified injection. Essentially it means you've got a turbocharger. As for the basic checks, well, your engine oil dipstick is here with a big yellow handle, so it's easy to get to. You can top up the oil there, of course. The engine coolant expansion tank, well, that's just here. Let's check the level while we're at it. That's fine, nicely between the minimum and maximum. This one here, that's where you top up the windscreen washer fluid. And look, this is good. You've got a little removable filter in there. Stop gunk going into the system. Let's put that back. There we go. The brake fluid reservoir, well, that's all the way down there, but still reasonably accessible. As for the battery, that's over here. Now on some of the more expensive Skodas, the batteries get their own little box to keep them clean. Not so here, but there are nonetheless little flaps on this particular battery to keep the terminals
at least reasonably clean. And if something electrical stops working on your car, well, this is a fuse box, so you can at least access some of the fuses quite easily. Really must get some of these leaves out from next to the scuttle panel. There we go. Off you go.
And look at what I found in the back of the car. It's a vodka bottle, and as you can see, it's completely empty. Not my bottle though, and speaking of not mine, hang on. This is definitely not my shoe. It's clearly the wrong size. More useful in the back, we have ISOFIX mounting points. Let's find the ones on the offside rear seat. Follow it down. There's one of them, clearly labelled. On some cars these are hidden and hard to find, but not here. And there is the other one there. And these enable you to quickly and conveniently connect a child seat without having to wrap it up in one of the adult seat belts, which can be a real pain in the neck. I know from personal experience. Now, the boots are decent sized, as you can see, so there's plenty of room for your Christmas tinsel and gloves and what have you. But what's perhaps more interesting is that you can move the parcel shelf to the position that best suits your needs. So this is it in the highest position, and if we undo these clips here and then give it a bit of a whack, it pops out and we can lower it to there, like that, if you want to pack something taller on top. Equally, if you want to get rid of this completely, you can just slide it backwards like this, and it's out of the way. I wonder what happens when I press this silver button on the key. Okay, let's have a quick look behind the fuel flap, because you'll like this. Because we have this yellow thing here, which is in fact an ice scraper for when your windows are covered in ice in the winter. We also have this sticker here that confirms what your tyre pressures are supposed to be, among other things. And look, when we take off the fuel cap to buy petrol, there's no need to leave it dangling down like that, because there are these little cutouts around the edge which enable you to just neatly balance it on top of the flap, like so. Okay, let's take this 2017 Skoda Fabia Mk3 for a quick test drive. The first thing I notice is that the seat isn't particularly to my taste. I don't find it that comfortable, although clearly that is subjective. You may love it. Visibility, well, that's pretty good, both front and rear. The blind spots aren't too bad. I'd say the most obvious blind spot are the rear pillars, the C-pillars. Now, to start this car, we have to first press the clutch, which we're doing now, and it fires into life. Lights are on. We have automatic lights in this car. No one around, so off we go. Now, I've driven a lot of modern Skodas and other Volkswagen Group cars, and they very often feel like big heavy tanks on the road, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This little Fabia though feels much more dainty. It feels like a little ballerina skipping around a field. I'm going to have to turn the heater on, I think, because we're steaming up a bit there. So very, very easy to drive, very relaxing to drive, very comfortable apart from the seat, which may or may not bother you. Now, this little 1 litre engine, which, as I said earlier, has 95 horsepower, is really quite responsive, particularly when the turbocharger kicks in. So you'll have no issue getting up to speed around town. I think the official 0 to 60 figure is about 10.5 seconds. The gearbox, that's very smooth and easy to use. You're not likely to accidentally slip into the wrong gear. Now, the handling, more than competent, but this is not a sporty vehicle. I'll just turn down here where it's a little quieter. Something's banging around, isn't it? Now, when I turn the steering sharp like this, a lot of body roll there.
So that's to be expected if you decide to throw one of these around. Could do with a little more low-end torque, I'd say. As for the brakes, we'll do an emergency stop round here if it's safe. No one behind us. No one in front. We'll do about 25 and no problem at all. Nice progressive brakes, plenty of feel, and we came to a stop. No trouble whatsoever without skidding because we do have ABS on this car. So, overall, it's easy to drive, it's nippy. On paper, it averages about 64 miles per gallon, but I don't know what you actually get in real life. The brakes are good, the gearbox is good, not the sort of thing you chuck around too much, but if you just want to nip around town, cruise comfortably, you could do a lot worse than a Mark III Skoda Fabia. So there we go. That's the 2017 Skoda Fabia Mark III 1 litre petrol with the manual gearbox and SE trim. Now, I'm interested to know what you think about this car. Do you like it? Do you hate it? By all means, let me know in the comments section. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video? You may also like to subscribe to Car Spy TV because I have plenty more interesting content to come. And I, this dragon, and all the other strange creatures in this car will see you next time. Farewell! Go on, go. Get out of here. Go, go, go.